The night sky over Earth glittered with ordinary stars until everything went black. At first it seemed like a power failure. City lights blinked off, phone screens dimmed, even satellites on silent orbits vanished from tracking displays. For a full minute, the planet's entire network, civilian and military, dropped into absolute silence. No warnings, no explanation. Just darkness. Then every screen in the world lit up at once. A vast chamber appeared, walls shimmering with silver mist. 12 alien figures stood in a perfect circle. Some looked crystalline, bending light like glass. Others pulsed with liquid colors, their shapes impossible to read. Rings of blue fire floated above their heads. They spoke together in a voice that vibrated through bone and metal, translated into every human language at the same instant. People of Earth, you have crossed forbidden space. You have reached for the stars without leave. We are the Council of 12. You will surrender your fleets and your world. Refuse, and your planet will be made silent. The transmission cut to an image of colossal warships, black arcs of living metal. Scarlet light burning along their edges. The ships drifted before a pale blue sun no one recognized. Then the feed ended. Far beneath Geneva, the United Nations Fleet Command bunker erupted into chaos. Alarms wailed. Officers shouted reports across a sea of glowing consoles. Total satellite blackout confirmed. A technician called. Global systems hijacked, but no lasting damage. Admiral Rena Ortiz gripped the edge of the central table. Bring Titans online now, hidden in the shadows of Jupiter's moons. 3 Titan-class dreadnoughts, weighted city-sized ships armored in black alloy, armed with weapons no enemy had yet faced. Only a few dozen people on Earth even knew they existed. Quiet activation, Ortiz ordered. No public feed. I want those reactors at full power inside the hour. Captain Elise Mora, 27 years old and recently promoted to strategic intelligence, sat at her console on the command deck. Her dark hair was pulled into a precise knot, but a loose strand brushed her cheek as she leaned closer to the data stream. Something about the alien signal bothered her. The rhythm wasn't random. Between the threatening words, she caught a faint, repeating pattern like a heartbeat. She tapped a few commands, isolating the background noise. Numbers flickered across her screen, 3 clusters, separated by pulses of static coordinates. Elise pulse quickened. She cross-checked with the solar system chart. A single point lit up at the very edge of the Kuiper Belt, frozen ring of ancient rock beyond Neptune. Her chair scraped back as she stood. Admiral, there's something inside the message. Encrypted coordinates. Our own system. The room fell quiet. Show me, Ortiz said. The holographic display shifted, magnifying the outer rim of the solar system. A white marker blinked like a heartbeat in the black void. Ortiz frowned. That sector is uninhabited. Not tonight, Elise said softly. Gravitational scans show. Distortion. Something massive. The Admiral's jaw tightened. Launch stealth drones. Full burn. Do not broadcast. And keep the Titans cloaked until we know what we're facing. Hours later, a ghostly calm returned to the command center. Operators watched their monitors in tense silence as the first drone approached the coordinates. Static filled the feed and cleared into grainy images of distant ice and starlight. Contact in 10 seconds, controller murmured. The screen brightened. Shadows shifted across the star's shapes, too symmetrical to be natural. Magnify, Elise said. The picture sharpened, and a collective gasp swept the room. An armada floated in the dark. Dozens of alien warships larger than mountains. Hulks blacker than space itself. Crimson energy pulsed along their spines like veins carrying fire. They formed a perfect circle around a single object that glowed with a faint, unnatural light. Another technician whispered, "There, waiting for us." Before Elise could respond, the drone feed flared white. A deafening tone filled the speakers, the same rhythm hidden in the first message, only louder, insistent. Ortiz gripped the table. They know we're watching. The lights in the bunker flickered. Every console screen flashed with the alien symbol, a fractured circle. Spinning like a silent clock, Elise felt the hair rise on her neck. Admiral, they're already here. Outside, above the sleeping world. The stars themselves seemed to dim. For 30 tense minutes after the alien fleet revealed itself, Earth held its breath. Cities hummed with uneasy silence. Families stared at blank screens, waiting for news that never came. In the underground UN Fleet Command bunker, Admiral Rena Ortiz broke the quiet first. "Bring the Titans to full power," she ordered. No more delays. Across the solar system, hidden beneath Jupiter's swirling storms, 3 Titan-class warships stirred. Each ship was the size of a floating city, forged from stealth alloys that swallowed starlight. For years they had slept in secret dockyards, their existence a rumor even among high-ranking officers. Now, enormous reactors ignited, casting blinding arcs of blue light into the darkness. The first activation echoed across space like a distant thunderclap. Inside Titan I's command core, giant conduits lit in sequence, each thrum a heartbeat. Engineers floated through zero-gravity corridors, checking seals and weapons arrays. From her station in Geneva, Captain Elise Mora watched telemetry scroll across her screen, massive power spikes, reactor temperatures climbing. Her chest tightened. "They're awake," she thought. Admiral Titan I reports full energy. 2 and 3 following. Ortiz gave a single, sharp nod. "Keep transmissions silent. We can't show our hand until we know what those aliens plan." But silence would not hold for her. Long in the Martian capital dome of Ares City, news of the alien ultimatum leaked despite Earth's tight security. Red dust storms carried the sound of panic. Some leaders called for peace at any price. Others demanded immediate retaliation. Mars Fleet Commander Zhao opened a direct channel to Geneva. "Admiral Ortiz," Zhao said, his voice edged with static and anger, "you kept Titan deployment secret from the colonies? That secrecy is over. If those creatures attack, Mars will not be left undefended." Ortiz stared at the transmission. "Commander Zhao, stand down. Your orbital weapons remain on alert, but do not engage. A premature strike could trigger a war we can't win." Zhao narrowed his eyes. "Or a war we must fight first." The link cut without warning. Meanwhile, deep in the Kuiper Belt, the stealth drones approached the alien armada's perimeter. Images arrived in flashes, strange, jagged silhouettes drifting against the void, glowing faintly with crimson veins. Elise leaned forward, noting the pulsing pattern. There, she whispered, "Same frequency as the hidden code from the first message." "They're broadcasting something new," Technician Kiran Singh ran an analysis. "Not just a beacon. It's layered. Like a song, Elise's heart skipped. Or a warning." Before she could decode further, alarms blared across the bunker. An urgent voice shouted from the drone bay, "We've lost contact, signal jammed." The main screen flared white, then black. The alien fleet had cut them off. Far from Earth, aboard Titan I. Chief Engineer Naomi Keene noticed an anomaly. A sudden spike in the primary reactor, far above safe limits. "Control, this is Titan I," she barked into her com. "We have a power surge in the core. Automatic dampeners failing," her second game command cursed. "No system should climb that fast. It's like someone's inside the grid." Lights flickered red. The reactor hummed with a strange rhythm, the same pulse Elise had uncovered. Naomi's blood ran cold. "This isn't mechanical. It's external." The warship's captain ordered an emergency lockdown. All crew, 2 shielded compartments. "Prepare for remote override from Earth." In Geneva, Elise's console flared with frantic alerts. She scanned the data, jaw tightening. "Admiral, the surge pattern matches the alien signal. They're inside Titan I's systems." Ortiz slammed her fist on the table. "Cut the uplinks. Full isolation protocol now." Technicians raced to sever connections. The surge slowed, then stopped. The warship's lights dimmed back to steady blue. Breathing hard, Elise whispered, "They were testing us. Measuring our strength?" Ortiz turned to her. "Or marking us for destruction." Ours passed in tense silence. Teams repaired Titan I's systems, But every officer knew the aliens could strike again at any second. Elise returned to her decoding, tracing faint echoes left in the disrupted data. Symbols emerged, curved lines and points, repeating like constellations. Slowly, they formed a shape, a sphere surrounding a single bright core. Kieran leaned over her shoulder. "What is that?" "A map," Elise said. "Not just of our system, something hidden inside theirs. A power source they're guarding." The Admiral approached, eyes hard. "If that's their heart, we find it before they strike." As if to answer, every monitor flickered once more. A single alien glyph appeared, a broken circle, glowing crimson, then in the cold darkness beyond Neptune. The drones caught one final image before their feeds died, an unknown energy core pulsing at the center of the alien formation. Brighter than a small star, its rhythm matched the beat still. Echoing faintly through Titan I's reactor, Elise stared at the frozen frame, a chill spreading through her chest. "That isn't their technology," she said quietly. "It's something else. Something they're afraid of." The screen went black. The alien transmission returned without warning, in the middle of Earth's night cycle. Every display from phone screens, 2 orbital telescopes, suddenly flickered alive. The same alien council appeared, but this time their formation was broken. Voices overlapped in a storm of languages. The crystalline elder who had once spoken with icy certainty now trembled. Light cracking across its glass-like skin. Through an automated translator, fragments bled through. The catalyst awakens. Humans cannot be allowed. Containment failed. The broadcast collapsed into static. In the Geneva command bunker, Admiral Rena Ortiz exchanged a grim look with Captain Elise Mora. "They're not as united as they pretend," Ortiz said. "Something has them scared." All over the solar system, the Titans held position. Titan I's crew floated at battle stations, watching the Kuiper Belt through reinforced viewports. Their massive cannons tracked the invisible enemy. On Titan III, Marines checked rifles and powered exosuits, their breaths fogging inside helmets. Elise studied the fragment of alien dialogue captured before the feed died. "Catalyst," she murmured. "They're afraid of it, and it's tied to us." Technician Kieran Singh hovered beside her. "The energy core we saw, maybe it isn't theirs. Maybe it's connected to the catalyst they keep mentioning." Ortiz folded her arms. "Then we need more than guesses. We need proof. A hidden probe captured months ago in the asteroid belt and quietly stored in a secure." Martian vault suddenly took on new meaning. The probe had been recovered after drifting dark and silent, its origin unknown. Most thought it debris. Now its alien alloys matched those of the Kuiper fleet. Ortiz made her decision. "Retrieve the probe. Covert team only. Mars will not be told why." Elise volunteered without hesitation. "I'll lead the team," she said. "If this probe holds answers, I need to see them myself." Hours later, a stealth shuttle slipped away from Titan II and arrowed toward Mars. Inside, Lee strapped in with 3 black-armored Marines. The shuttle's engines purred in silence, its hull coated with light-bending material. No signals, no chatter. Only the steady thrum of life support systems as they approached the red planet. Ares City glimmered like a chain of tiny jewels beneath a storm of iron dust. Mars Fleet Command granted docking clearance without knowing the shuttle's true mission. The probe waited in a deep security vault beneath the surface. Its surface gleamed like wet obsidian, etched with faint lines that pulsed when touched. Elise felt a chill as she laid a gloved hand on it. The lines brightened, responding as if recognizing her. "That's not random," one Marine whispered. A low tone filled the chamber slow. Rhythmic. The same pulse that haunted the Titan's reactors. Back aboard the shuttle, Elise ordered a secure link to Geneva. "Admiral, the probe is active. It's responding to me?" Ortiz's voice crackled through the encrypted channel. "Get whatever data you can. Fast." Kieran's voice joined in from Titan I. "I've matched the probes." Signal to the hidden code from the Council's broadcast. "It's the same language." "Captain, this thing is talking." Elise traced a finger over the glowing symbols. Patterns shifted, forming shapes like constellations. A story began to unfold. A record of star systems, ancient battles, and finally, a species with unmistakably human silhouettes. Her breath caught. These are humans. Older than recorded history, the probe's final glyph flashed bright and projected a three-dimensional map. It pointed not toward the alien fleet, but inward Earth's south pole, where an energy signature pulsed faintly beneath the ice. Before she could speak, alarms wailed through the shuttle. Mars fleet scanners had detected an unauthorized launch. Local defense craft were on intercept course. Elise opened the come again. "Admiral, we have to leave now." "Understood," Ortiz replied. "Burn hard for Titan II? We'll cover you." The shuttle engines roared to full thrust. Red streaks of Martian defense lasers lanced past, missing by meters. Marines braced as the craft climbed through the thin atmosphere. A final image from the probe shimmered in Elise's mind. A massive circular machine buried under Antarctic ice, glowing like a dormant star. Back in Geneva, Ortiz listened to the incoming report, her face unreadable. "A hidden structure beneath Earth's south pole," she repeated. "Older than our species, and those aliens feared enough to risk war." Kieran looked pale in the blue light of his console. "Admiral, if this catalyst wakes up, we might not be fighting just the alien council. We might be fighting whatever built that thing." Ortiz's eyes hardened. "Then we find it before they do." Far beyond Neptune, the alien fleet shifted formation. Their crimson lights pulsed in a new pattern, like a heartbeat quickening. A single colossal warship broke from the ring and began moving inward, toward Earth. In the Geneva bunker, proximity alarms screamed. The southern skies burned with auroras no scientist could explain. From New Zealand to Argentina, people stepped out of their homes and stared upward as shimmering curtains of green and blue rippled across the night, colors far brighter than any natural polar light. Deep beneath the ice of Antarctica, something vast had awakened in the UN Fleet Command bunker. Admiral Rena Ortiz studied the sensor data, her jaw tight. "That surge came from the South Pole," she said. "Same pulse as the alien fleet. Stronger." Captain Elise Mora leaned closer to the holographic map. The readings showed a single point flashing with rhythmic light, like a heartbeat beneath the frozen continent. "The probe's coordinates match perfectly," she said. "Whatever the catalyst is, it's alive." Technician Kiran Singh glanced between monitors. "Ma'am, seismic activity is rising. Ice sheets are fracturing." Ortiz gave the order. "Prepare an expedition. We need to see it before the aliens do." Within hours, a Titan-class transport left orbit and arrowed toward Antarctica. Inside, scientists and soldiers sat in tense silence. Elise stood at the viewport, watching Earth's blue curve grow larger. Even from this distance, she could see the aurora swirling halo around the southern pole. Snow and ice roared beneath the shuttle's landing gear as they touched down near a cluster of temporary research stations. Winds whipped across the barren white, carrying a low, vibrating hum that everyone felt in their bones. "Feels like it's singing," one Marine muttered. Elise tightened her parka and stepped onto the ice. The ground trembled faintly, steady pulse timed to the glow in the sky. The team moved toward the coordinates, guided by drones and scanner beacons. A fissure stretched before them, a fresh chasm ripped through miles of ancient ice. Warm, luminous air drifted upward, glowing faintly blue, descending by rappel. They entered a cavern unlike anything on Earth. Towering walls of black stone arched overhead, smooth as glass and veined with silver light. The air was warm, almost comfortable, and carried the faint scent of ozone. At the center stood a colossal machine, half buried in crystalline frost. Circular in shape, its surface shimmered like liquid metal, patterns shifting across it as though alive. Elise approached, breath caught in her throat. Symbols blossomed across the structure lines and curves, forming star maps. The same ancient language she had seen on the alien probe. "This isn't alien," whispered Dr. Leao, the lead archaeologist. "It's older." much older. Above the cavern, a sudden tremor shook the ice. Distant booms echoed like thunder. One soldier pressed a hand to his earpiece. Command reports unidentified objects entering atmosphere stealth signatures. Could be alien scouts. Elise's heart raced. They know we're here, the catalyst responded as if it had heard her. Light flared across its surface, casting sharp shadows along the cavern walls. The low hum grew louder, vibrating through their chests. Dr. Liao stepped forward, awestruck. It's awake. Elise raised a hand. Everyone stay back. The machine's surface rippled and formed a perfect circle of light. From its center, a holographic star map burst outward, thousands of systems glowing like fireflies. Lines connected them in complex patterns until one central point blazed brighter than all the rest. Earth. The entire cavern shook. Symbols streamed across the projection faster than the eye could follow. Kieran's portable scanner beeped wildly. It's transmitting, but not to us. Far above, aboard Titan 1, operators gasped as a new signal flooded their boards. The same rhythmic pulse hammered through every system, stronger than before. In the Kuiper Belt, alien ships abruptly shifted formation, their crimson lights flashing frantic warnings. Admiral Ortiz's voice crackled across the cum. Captain Mora, the alien fleet just moved. They're breaking orbit and accelerating inward. You have minutes before they reach firing range. Elise stared at the glowing sphere. Admiral, the catalyst is sending a beacon. They're responding to this. Ortiz's tone hardened. Secure what you can and evacuate. Now, the team scrambled to gather scans and samples. But the ground lurched violently. Ice walls splintered, sending shards crashing like glass. The catalyst's light brightened to blinding white. Suddenly, a voice not sound, but thought filled Elise's mind. Daughter of Earth, the time of silence ends. She staggered, clutching her head. Around her, soldiers shouted, unaware of the words ringing through her mind. The voice continued, they fear what you are. Choose to rise, or be erased. Then the light collapsed inward, leaving only the steady heartbeat of energy deep within the machine. Above the planet, the first alien warships pierced Earth's outer defenses. Titans rose from Jupiter's shadow, their massive engines igniting like newborn suns. The battle for humanity's future was moments away. In the Antarctic cavern, Elise stared at the sleeping machine. She felt its power humming inside her own pulse. We have to hold this ground, she whispered. The catalyst isn't done. The ice groaned again, louder. Closer, the first alien shot came without warning, high above Neptune. A crimson spear of energy tore across the void, slashing through a cluster of undefensed satellites like paper. In seconds, the quiet rim of the solar system blazed with fire and debris. On Titan 1's bridge, alarms howled. Crew members snapped into action as sensor displays lit with a swarm of approaching warships' sleek black crescents radiating. A deadly red glow, contact confirmed, shouted Lieutenant Dax. 30-plus enemy vessels. Closing fast, Admiral Rena Ortiz stood tall at the command dais. All Titans, full power. Weapons free? Let them know humanity stands. From hidden orbits near Jupiter, the 3 Titan-class warships surged forward, reactors roaring like captive stars. Plasma shields flared blue as their massive engines cut through darkness. Inside Titan 1, Captain Elise Mora watched the alien fleet through the main viewport. Each enemy ship dwarfed even the largest human cruiser. Yet the Titans felt alive. Ready? This is it, she murmured. First strike belongs to them. Last strike belongs to us. The comms officer's voice broke through. Admiral, we have priority traffic from Antarctica. It's Captain Mora's secure channel. Ortiz nodded sharply. Patch it. Miles below the ice, the catalyst pulsed like a living heart. Elise's voice came through a private feed, urgent and low. Admiral, the catalyst is awake. It sent me a message mental, not audio. It knows the aliens fear it. and it wants us to rise. Ortiz hesitated, her steel composure slipping for a heartbeat. Understood, Captain? Hold that sight. Titans will keep them busy. A second officer cut in. Enemy fleet accelerating. They're coming for Earth. Ortiz's jaw tightened. Then Earth will answer. The void erupted. Alien dreadnoughts fired first. Blazing lances of crimson energy that ripped through the dark, each beam strong enough to vaporize a moon. Titan 1 rolled hard, shields flaring as the blast grazed her hull. Return fire, Ortiz commanded. Titan 2's railguns thundered, launching magnetized slugs the size of buildings. Titan 3 followed with a storm of plasma torpedoes, their blue trails cutting across space. Explosions blossomed like miniature suns as the first alien ship cracked apart. But for every enemy vessel destroyed, more swept forward. On the frozen Antarctic plateau, Elise and her team felt the battle in the sky as distant vibrations beneath their feet. The catalyst pulsed faster, brighter, responding to the conflict above. Dr. Liao stared at the glowing machine. It's mirroring the Titan's weapon discharges? Elise reached out, palm hovering just above the metallic surface. A surge of energy jumped into her hand, filling her mind with starlight and ancient voices. Defend, ascend, unleash. The machine's light flared white-hot. Screens on the portable scanners flashed unreadable data. Kieran's eyes widened. Captain, the catalyst is amplifying our fleet's power. It's boosting their shields remotely. Back in Neptune orbit, Titan 1's shield strength spiked unexpectedly. Engineers shouted in surprise as incoming fires splashed harmlessly across glowing barriers. Ortiz seized the advantage. Push forward. Target their command ship. Titan 2 fired a barrage of hypervelocity slugs, each impact tearing through alien armor. Titan 3's plasma cannons sliced a dreadnought clean in half. Human cheers filled the bridge, yet victory was far from certain. From the center of the alien formation, a massive flagship emerged twice the size of a Titan. Its core pulsing with a strange golden light. Lieutenant Dax's voice cracked. Admiral. The energy reading matches the unknown core from earlier. That thing isn't like the others. The flagship opened fire. One beam slammed into Titan 2, shaking the dreadnought end to end. Alarms screamed as shields collapsed and decks buckled. Ortiz steadied herself. All Titans concentrate fire on that flagship. Do not break formation. Railguns thundered. Torpedoes streaked across the void. But the golden core absorbed every strike, glowing brighter, almost mocking. Then the enemy counterattacked. A wave of energy rippled outward, disabling half the Titan fleet's secondary systems. Lights flickered. Engines coughed. For the first time, humanity's advantage faltered. Far below, the catalyst reacted violently. The entire cavern shook as the machine's center split open, revealing a sphere of swirling light. Elise staggered, shielding her eyes. A voice boomed inside her mind again. They steal our heart. Reclaim it or perish, Elise gasped. The flagship's crit isn't theirs. It belongs to the catalyst. Dr. Liao stared at her. You mean they stole it? Elise nodded, and it wants it back. On Titan 1, Ortiz gripped the rail as another barrage rocked the ship. We can't hold this forever, she growled. Elise's urgent voice cut through the cum. Admiral, the catalyst says the flagship's core is part of it. If we separate the core, the fleet collapses. We need a boarding team to extract it. Ortiz hesitated only a moment. Understood. Prepare a strike squad. Within minutes, a squad of armored Marines launched in stealth pods toward the enemy flagship, slipping between streaks of plasma fire. Each carried experimental cutting gear and the resolve of a species fighting for survival from the Titan's bridge. Ortiz and Elise, now patched into a shared command channel, watched the pods vanish into the black. Dax whispered, "If they fail..." Ortiz didn't let him finish. They won't. Above the icy reaches of Neptune, human and alien weapons lit the void like a second dawn, deep under Antarctica. The catalyst's glow surged, beating in time with the Marines' approach, and aboard the alien flagship. The boarding pods locked on silent shadows against a golden blaze. The alien flagship loomed like a black-gold citadel against the scattered light of distant stars. Its surface rippled with living metal, shifting patterns of crimson and amber that seemed to watch the incoming pods. Inside one of those stealth pods, Strike Leader Jonah Cade checked the seals on his suit. Around him, 6 Marines waited in silence, weapons humming with charge. Beyond the narrow viewport, the flagship's hull grew larger, its golden core throbbing like a giant heart. "Remember," Jonah said through the squad channel, voice low but steady. "Our target is the energy core. We get it out. The catalyst finishes the job. No heroics." Captain Elise Marat's voice crackled in their helmets from the Antarctic cavern. "The catalyst is tracking you. It says the core isn't just power, it's alive. Don't underestimate it." Jonah gave a grim nod. "We never do." The pod latched onto the alien hull with a dull clang. Magnetic clamps sealed tight. Sparks hissed as a cutting laser carved through the living metal. The moment an opening formed, the squad flowed inside like shadows. Alien corridors stretched in impossible curves, glowing with shifting amber light. Strange glyphs crawled across the walls like insects, rearranging themselves as the humans passed. The air was heavy, almost wet, carrying a faint hum that vibrated through their bones. "Feels like we're walking inside a creature," whispered Private Santos. "Focus," Jonah replied. "Follow the beacon." The squad advanced toward the signal, weapons ready. Behind them, the walls seemed to pulse, as though the ship itself was aware. Far away in Neptune orbit, the battle raged. Titan I rolled sharply as alien destroyers fired relentless crimson lances. Admiral Rena Ortiz barked orders, keeping her fleet in a deadly dance. "Keep the flagship distracted," she commanded. "Give the strike team every second." Titan II, scarred but operational, surged forward, railguns spitting metal storms. Titan III unleashed a barrage of plasma torpedoes, each blast bright as lightning. Alien dreadnoughts fell one after another, but the flagship remained unshaken, its golden core glowing ever brighter. In Antarctica, the catalyst pulsed with increasing urgency. The cavern trembled as ice cracked overhead. Elise stood close to the vast machine, eyes fixed on the swirl of light at its center. The voice returned, soft yet undeniable. "Return the heart. Restore the bond." She pressed a hand against the cool surface. "They're trying," she whispered, "but they're running out of time." Inside the alien flagship, Jonah's squad reached a chamber that dwarfed any cathedral. At its center floated the golden chorosphere of pure, swirling energy suspended in midair. Around it, alien guardians emerged from the walls, towering biomechanical creatures with limbs of molten light. "Contact!" shouted Cade. The Marines opened fire. Rail rifles barked, plasma bolts seared the dark. The Guardians moved with terrifying speed, deflecting shots with glowing blades. One Marine fell with a cry, armor sizzling. "Push forward," Jonah ordered. Private Santos triggered a gravity charge. The floor rippled like water, throwing the Guardians off balance. The team surged ahead, forming a defensive ring around the core. Back in orbit, Titan I shuddered as another blast struck its shields. Systems flickered. "Admiral shields down to 40%, shouted Lieutenant Dax. Ortiz clenched her fists. "Hold the line. They're close." Titan III swooped in with a desperate torpedo volley, blue fire illuminating the flagship's hull. The golden core inside pulsed violently, almost in pain. Jonah activated the extraction device, a portable containment field that unfolded, like silver petals around the core. As it powered up, the Guardians shrieked, their voices like tearing metal. A sudden psychic pressure slammed into Jonah's mind. Images flooded his thoughts. Ancient stars, long-dead civilizations, a race that had built the catalyst to guard against endless war. A single phrase echoed, "Home. Return. Awaken." He gritted his teeth and held the field steady. "You're coming with us," he whispered. The golden sphere pulsed, almost as if in agreement. The Guardians charged again. Marines fought hand to hand, blades of plasma against alien light. Sparks rained across the chamber. One by one, the creatures faltered as the containment field tightened. Finally, with a sound like a thunderclap, the core detached from its bindings and settled into the containment cradle. The entire ship convulsed. "All units, exfil now," Jonah shouted. They sprinted back through the twisting corridors, the flagship shaking itself apart. Behind them, walls split and molten light poured like rivers. Outside, the alien fleet faltered. Golden energy flickered across their ships, weapons dimming. The flagship's glow faded as if its heart had been ripped away. On Titan 1, Ortiz saw the readings and seized the moment. "All Titans, full barrage. Target the flagship." Railguns roared. Plasma torpedoes streaked through the black. With a soundless flash, the alien flagship fractured. Golden fragments spinning into the void, the strike pods burst free of the collapsing vessel, engines burning bright. Jonah's voice came across the comm, breathless but steady. "Package secure." Heading home, cheers erupted across every Titan bridge far below the Antarctic ice. The catalyst shone like a newborn sun. The cavern walls vibrated with a deep, resonant chord that shook the earth for miles. Elise closed her eyes as the voice filled her mind again. The heart returns. The path begins. She opened her eyes to see the golden sphere forming within the catalyst's core. Merging seamlessly, its light blending with the ancient machine's glow above. The alien fleet broke formation, their once deadly armada scattering in confusion. But the victory felt fragile. The voice whispered one final warning. "More will come. The true war has yet to begin." In orbit, Admiral Ortiz received the report and stared at the fading wreck of the flagship. "We won today," she said quietly. "But something tells me this was only the opening move." Captain Elise Mora listened from her icy cavern, the catalyst glow reflecting in her eyes. She felt the same chill. The solar system had been defended, but the stars beyond now. Stirred, the solar system had fallen quiet. But it was not peace. Fragments of alien warships drifted like black snow through Neptune's orbit. Titan-class crews worked around the clock, hauling survivors and salvaging technology. Across Earth, cheers of victory mixed with the nervous whisper that the enemy might return. Captain Elise Mora stood inside the Antarctic cavern, staring at the catalyst. The golden heart taken from the alien flagship now pulsed within the machine, brighter and steadier than ever. Its glow painted the ice walls in shifting waves of silver and amber. Admiral Rena Ortiz's voice echoed over the comm. "Captain, all major alien vessels have retreated, but long-range sensors detect anomalies. They're not fleeing randomly. It looks like a pattern." Elise frowned. "A pattern toward what?" "Toward something bigger," Ortiz said. "And it's not in our system." The catalyst responded with a low harmonic vibration that shook the cavern floor. Symbols blossomed across its surface, spirals of starlight, impossible constellations forming and reforming. Kiran Singh, their tech specialist, stared at his tablet. "It's generating a new star map. Same energy signature as the alien fleet. But these coordinates not in our charts," Elise finished. "Deep space." Dr. Liao adjusted her glasses, voice hushed. "It's calling us outward. Like a summons." The vibration intensified. A thin beam of golden light shot upward, cutting through miles of ice and rock. Satellites in polar orbit recorded the sudden flare, a beacon visible across half the planet. Ortiz's voice sharpened. "Captain, the whole world just saw that. Whatever you're doing, it's not staying secret." Elise touched the catalyst's smooth surface. The voice returned to her mind, soft but commanding. "Come, witness the origin, or darkness will follow." Within hours, the UN Security Council convened an emergency session. From New York to Geneva, officials argued over the beam, the alien retreat, and whether humanity should chase the mysterious coordinates. In the end, fear of a second invasion decided for them. A new mission was born. Operation Starbound. 3. Titan-class warships refitted and reinforced would follow the catalyst signal beyond the edge of known space. Elise was named mission commander. Admiral Ortiz would oversee from Earth. Elise accepted, without hesitation. If there's a bigger threat out there, we can't wait for it to find us. The launch was a global event. Billions watched as the Titans rose from low orbit, engines blazing blue. Vast civilian crowds filled city rooftops, waving flags and banners that read, "Humanity stands, and for all worlds." Children pointed skyward as the ships disappeared into the black, their contrails glowing like comet tails. On board Titan 1, the crew felt the weight of the moment. Lieutenant Dax adjusted his console with nervous energy. Beyond the Kuiper Belt, no resupply, no fallback. Just us and the dark. Elise met his gaze. Then, let's light the dark. Days passed as the fleet glided past the Oort cloud, farther from Earth than any human ship had ever gone. The catalyst's beacon guided them, a soft golden shimmer ahead of their bows. Then, without warning, the stars changed. Sensors flared as space itself rippled. The familiar constellations stretched and bent like molten glass. The void ahead shimmered with a faint silver mist, forming a swirling gate of light. "Not a wormhole," Dax whispered. "It's something else." The catalyst pulsed brighter, responding. Elise felt the voice again. "The path is open. Step forward, or be left behind." The Titans crossed the threshold. Light consumed every window, every sensor. For a heartbeat, there was no sound. No motion, only a blinding expanse of silver and gold. Then the fleet emerged into a new sky. Before them spread a galaxy unlike any charted. A river of stars clustered around a dark, pulsing sphere the size of a planet. Colossal structures, rings of metal and crystal abitted the darkness, each the size of a moon. Lightning arced silently across their surfaces. By every star, Dax breathed, "This isn't just another system, it's a fortress." The catalyst thrummed, almost proud. A sudden alarm cut through the awe. Red icons bloomed across tactical screens. "Multiple contacts," a sensor officer reported, voice trembling. "Massive signatures bigger than the alien fleet we fought at Neptune." Dark shapes emerged from the mist. Warships the size of continents, their silhouettes jagged and ancient. Their hulls bore the same golden light as the catalyst, but twisted, fractured. Elise's pulse quickened. "They're not the same as before." The largest ship drifted closer, a monstrous shadow blocking entire starfields. Symbols flared across its surface, recognizable yet corrupted. Kieran whispered, "It's like an echo of the catalyst." But broken, the coms filled with a deep, resonant sound, half voice, half thunder. A language none of their translators could parse. But Elise understood one word, not with her ears, but with her mind. "Return." Then, as if in answer, the dark sphere at the galaxy's heart flared open like a cosmic eye. The Titan's sensors went blind. Lights flickered. A sudden gravity surge seized the fleet, dragging them toward the immense dark core. "Engines to maximum," Elise ordered. "Break free," Dax shouted. "It's pulling everything we can hold." The ships shuddered as invisible tides pulled harder. The giant alien fortress surrounding them like a closing fist. Elise gripped the command rail, her heart pounding. "Admiral, if you can hear this static," drowned her words. The stars themselves seemed to twist, the dark core expanding until it filled every screen. Far behind, across millions of miles, the beam from the Antarctic catalyst flared violently, shaking the Earth itself. Crowds across the planet gasped as the aurora returned. Brighter and stranger than ever, Dr. Liao stared at the monitors, horrified. "They've reached something alive," the catalyst whispered through every speaker. "Through every mind, the true war begins." Titan 1's hull groaned as the gravity surge peaked. Crew members clung to rails, alarms shrieking, Elise locked eyes with her crew. "Hold on," she said. "Whatever waits in there, we face it together." The dark sphere swallowed them whole. The Titans plunged through darkness. For a heartbeat or a lifetime, there was nothing. No stars, no sound, only a vast black ocean pressing against every hull. Crew members clung to consoles as gravity twisted in impossible directions. Then light flared. The fleet emerged into a colossal chamber beyond space itself, a hollow universe of swirling gold and shadow. Immense structures floated in the void, half alive. Shards of worlds drifted like broken glass. Captain Elise Mora stood at the bridge of Titan 1, heart pounding. "Status?" Lieutenant Dax scanned frantic readings. "We're inside something. Sensors show infinite curvature. It's not a star system. It's a machine." The catalyst in Antarctica pulsed across the ComNet, its voice resonating through every speaker, through every mind. "Welcome to the Foundry of Empires." Across the chamber, colossal warships, ignited ships, larger than continents, older than any civilization. Their hulls glowed with fractured golden light. Each bore scars of ancient battles, their surfaces cracked and smoldering. Admiral Rena Ortiz's voice reached through a faint, static-laced channel. "Titans, your telemetry just vanished." "Where are you?" "We don't know," Elise replied, gripping the command rail. "But we're not alone." As if in answer, the alien dreadnoughts awakened. Their weapons glowed, 1,000 suns charging at once. The catalyst spoke again, its words a deep vibration that shook the crew's bones. "These are the first makers. They forged the stars, then turned on each other. Their war never ended. They stole my heart to cage me, and now they will cage you." Elise felt the truth in her mind. These beings had once created the very technology that seeded galaxies with life. Now, they were trapped in endless conflict, hungry for power. "They want the catalyst," she whispered. "And us." The ancient fleet fired. Spears of black energy tore across the void. Titan 1 rolled hard as gravity whips cracked through the chamber. Shields flared blue, barely holding. "Return fire," Elise ordered. Railguns thundered. Plasma torpedoes streaked into the dark. But the ancient dreadnoughts barely slowed. Their armor absorbed the assault like rain. Dax's voice cracked. "We can't win a straight fight." The catalyst surged with golden light, cutting through their panic. "Join with me. Share your will. Become more than flesh." Elise hesitated. "What does that mean?" "Unity. Power enough to end the endless war." Back on Earth, the Antarctic cavern erupted with seismic tremors. The catalyst's beam reached into the heavens, now visible from every continent. Billions watched in awe as skies glowed silver and gold. Dr. Liao held onto the console as ice cracked overhead. "It's linking." With the Titans, on Titan 1, Elise felt the connection. Golden light spilled across the bridge, threads of energy weaving through the crew. Minds touched minds. For an instant, she felt every heartbeat of her people, every Titan sailor, every soul on Earth and beyond. She felt the catalyst itself, ancient, patient, furious. "Will you fight beside me?" it asked. Elise raised her head. "Yes." The Titans blazed with sudden radiance. Their hulls glowed molten gold, railguns crackling with amplified power. Shields strengthened until they shone like miniature suns. Admiral Ortiz's fleet roared. Back into the fight, human torpedoes struck with the force of collapsing stars. Golden shockwaves tore through the ancient dreadnoughts, ripping colossal ships apart, the enemy countered. But their weapons faltered against the united glow. Still, the largest dreadnought, the prime vessel, charged a final attack. Its core expanded into a black sphere of annihilation. The catalyst whispered to Elise, "Together." Now, Elise gripped the command rail and poured every thought into the link. Titan 1's engines screamed. The catalyst's energy surged outward, a wave of golden light that engulfed the chamber. The black sphere collapsed inward, devoured by brilliance. One by one, the ancient dreadnoughts cracked and dissolved into dust. Silence, only the Titans remained. Drifting in a void now bright with calm, star-like sparks, the catalyst spoke softly. The war of the makers is ended. You have broken the chain, Elise exhaled, trembling. What happens now? Now you ascend. Humanity stands as guardian. The stars are yours to keep or to lose. The chamber began to fade. Space folded, the void unraveling into a river of light. In a blink, the Titans reappeared beyond the Oort cloud. The familiar constellations of home gleaming in their VIEWPORTS. Filled the screens a blue jewel. Beneath a golden aurora, cheers erupted across every ship. Admiral Ortiz's voice came steady and proud. Welcome back, Titans. The system is secure. Humanity stands. Elise looked at the stars, their cold brilliance alive with new promise. We're not the same, she said softly. We can never be the same. In Antarctica, the catalyst settled into a quiet glow, its golden heart beating in harmony with the planet itself. Above, humanity's first fleet of united worlds prepared for a new era. Across Earth, billions felt the subtle thrum of the catalyst, a gentle reminder that the cosmos had finally noticed them far beyond the edge of sight. A single star flared bright like a wink,